What's going on, everyone? This is Russ over at A Plus Junk Removal in Rochester, New York, and Sarasota, Florida. So, one of the things that a lot of you guys are all concerned about is how do I get more sales? There's enough people that'll tell you how to do all that. What I'm going to try to teach you is all the stuff that you don't know that goes into running a business that you absolutely need to know. We've done videos on CAC and average job size and how to determine how much you need to spend going forward to get to the goals you want to get to. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the one thing that nobody in here likes to talk about, and this is going to be for everybody. The guys who have done this a long time and who are successful, this video, you probably already know all this, but this is really for all the new guys who are, gung-ho. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to kick ass, I'm going to fucking take the world by balls. Well, I'm going to show you a couple things that you need to consider before you start. And if you are in the brand new phase, this is one thing you really have to consider what I'm about to show you. So the word is insurance. What types? And all that stuff. So some of the other costs that you guys aren't going to have to, that you'll have to see too. Some of that's in payroll too. I'll do this video all as one. So obviously the first type of insurance you need is GL. That's general liability. That's in case you break something, insurance company's going to fix it. Okay. The next one you're going to need is comp. If someone falls and gets hurt, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need auto insurance. Obviously, if you're driving a car, you need fucking insurance. So you're going to need all of these three. Here's some that may or may not. This is going to be state dependent. Some of the other ones have hauling insurance. You can always get it if you want. My company does not require me to have hauling insurance. It's covered under auto. So that works out real good. There's umbrella policies that you can get with $1 million, $3 million, all that stuff. But these are pretty much, we're not going to focus so much on the hauling, and I'm not going to focus so much on the umbrella insurance. Most of that is not relevant to most people, but it's good to have it anyway. So what I'm going to tell you is that your GL policy and your comp policy are the two most important ones that you have. And what most people don't realize about GL and comp is that both of these are tied to one very important number in your business, and that is your labor wage. Okay? So the way that GL works and the way that comp works is they do what they call estimation based on how much payroll you think you're going to have. Okay, so let's just say that you think you are going to do $50,000 in payroll for GL and for comp. Most places won't even write a comp policy for you with $50,000 in labor, just so you know. The other thing that you guys need to realize is that on your comp policy, the owner can be excluded, doesn't have to be, but can be, because you're obviously not going to sue your own company. So most comp policies, the owner is excluded from using comp, okay? So what they take into effect is your labor wages is number one. Now, obviously, the more labor you have, the more chances are for an accident. But because what they do is they take an estimation your first year. They do what they call as an audit, okay? So an audit basically means this. You call up your insurance company, you say, I want a GL policy, I want a comp policy, I think my labor is going to be $50,000. They come back, they say, great, here's your number. Perfect. 1 year goes by, then they do what they call as an audit. Now, an audit basically takes your wages from the year before, okay? So we're going to do this. We estimated our first year at $50,000, okay? They gave us a policy of $3,000. That's the policy in year one. Okay? Now, we're going to renew in year two. So year two, they look back and they go, oh, your wages for last year in year one were actually $100,000. So what we're going to do is we are going to, going forward, we're going to say that your policy now requires $100,000 in wages, okay? And because you underestimated last year, you have to pay the difference now. So let's say that the year one, we said, okay, it was $50,000 labor, $3,000 policy. We go through the audit, we give it to the insurance company, and we say, hey, look, it was $100,000, not $50,000. Insurance company says, not a problem. We're going to base your new policy on $100,000, and you're going to pay us for last year because you underreported. And because your policy was $3,000 at a $50,000, your new policy going forward is $4,500. I'm explaining this to you guys for a very simple reason, because you're going to get bit in your ass if you don't understand this. Your new policy in year two is $4,500, but you also owe them $1,500 for the year before. So now when you get your new bill, your new year two policy bill is $4,500 plus the $1,500 you owe them for the year before. Your policy in year two is going to cost you $6,000 if you underreport your income. This is a big deal because I got stuck for $17,000 in my third year because I underreported on accident, and then they nailed me, and it was $17,000 more my second year. That included the increase and what I needed the year before. But imagine waking up tomorrow and you get your policy and they go, oh, your audit's done. It's in my instance, I think it was like $13,000 for comp. And then I had to pay $30,000 in year three because they had to get me for the back and going forward. So you don't want to fuck this up. Please listen to me on this. You do not want to fuck this up. If you're going to audit or if you're going to have a comp policy, you need to correctly report your labor in year one if you think you know what it is. You're not going to know in year one. So just be ready for sticker shock in year two. Okay? Now, the same thing that happens with comp, with an audit for the year before, also happens with GL. So if you go and you underreport and the next year it's double, okay? You're going to have to double up your payment on your comp. You're going to pay the new rate going forward and what you owe it for last year. And you're going to do the same thing with your GL policy. So your GL policy says it was $2,000 this year. It's now $3,000 this year, and you owe us $1,000 for last. So that's $4,000. Do not get stuck on this because you will go out of business real quick if you don't have this, especially in Florida, because Florida has sunbiz.org, which I praise Florida for. I think it's great that they do so much background check on contractors, because in the contracting world, a lot of people are on drugs and shit, and they just fuck people over. This is the one that can fucking break you right here. This insurance company, they will break your ass and not give a fuck. And they won't pay you anything when you need them. They're not going to fucking pay you. Insurance is the largest scam that's ever been written on history, next to the United States government. So this is how you're going to determine how much you're going to pay going forward and back. These also are all going to have, similar effects, but these aren't ones that you're really going to have. The new people aren't going to have these. The new people are going to have general liability, workers' comp, and auto. Auto, what I would suggest doing is if you're going to have auto, I would suggest that once you get the auto, go to get defensive driving. And then every driver that you have on your list, at least this is what's explained to me by my insurance agent, that if you go take defensive driving, you get 10% off on your insurance, and that's both for like your own personal and for your business. So you can do it. You get points off, but if you don't have points, fuck it, who cares about that? You're going for the 10% insurance adjustment. So you can always go and do the auto and just sign up like an online defensive driving course, and you can save money there. So this is one that nobody on YouTube talks about. All your YouTube stars and all the people out there that are going to tell you how to go and make all this money, what they're not going to tell you is, yeah, you can very easily, I'm doing it in Florida right now in 4 months. We're going out and we're doing about $800 to $1,000 a day in business, okay? $800 to $1,000 a day in business by the time I get done is about $500 to $600 gross profit. But this right here, this big ass word, insurance, will be the number one way you fuck yourself if you don't report it correctly. So I highly suggest you get on it and do the right thing by the insurance company, or you're going to get a hell of a bill that you can't pay.